He's blue! He's back!
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks of the best and worst animated sequels from Disney and Pixar. Watch out for spoilers.
Show yourself. Let me see who you are.
Number 5. Missed the Mark. Cinderella II, Dreams Come True. Anthology movies can be hit or miss, and this Cinderella sequel is definitely the latter. The film is comprised of 3 short stories, light, comic, and mostly pointless. The Jack-led anecdote Tall Tale is especially bland.
Maybe we can make another book. We can tell the stories and make the drawings. Yeah.
Oh, what an excellent idea.
No. Wait a minute. Who'd want to read a book made by mice?
It's not all bad, though. It's fun to see Cinderella finding her feet around the palace, and Anastasia's budding romance with the baker is actually adorable.
He's sweet.
She's wonderful.
He's romantic. And we are going to the ball together.
The red-headed stepsister gets some interesting character growth and an even bigger role in the next movie. Cinderella 3, A Twist in Time, is a bizarre but entertaining time travel caper and a vast improvement on the second film.
Now there is finally someone to love me. He'll show me a world that I never knew.
Number 5. Just as Good, Incredibles 2. There may have been a sizable time gap between Incredibles 1 and 2, but when it comes to quality, that didn't affect it. Fast-paced storytelling, engaging characters, and fantastic animation leave us with few complaints about this action-packed sequel. With Elastigirl bringing home the bacon, Bob Parr has been recast as a stay-at-home dad, dealing with the problems of his superpowered offspring. This now includes baby Jack-Jack, whose newfound skills provide some of the movie's funniest moments.
So, he can still hear you
from the other dimension, yeah.
That is freaky. And that's not
like our other kids. No, it is not.
There's a lot of slapstick in this one, and it's a real treat. However, as in the original, there's also warmth, wit, and plenty for the adults to enjoy as well as the kids.
I like you. And who knows what the future may bring. But I have a good feeling about all of you.
Number 4. Missed the Mark. Pocahontas II, Journey to a New World. On the surface, Journey to a New World is decent as Disney sequels go. It takes the characters in new and interesting directions, and some of the songs are great. However, both Pocahontas and its ill-advised sequel become extremely problematic when you dig into the real life of the heroine, whose tale was ultimately a tragic one.
It capitalized off a tragic story that completely ignored the reality of a courageous Native woman who suffered way too cruel a fate.
The original movie was criticized for its historical inaccuracies, as well as for creating a fictionalized romance with John Smith. This one takes things a step further by romanticizing Pocahontas' relationship with John Rolfe, who was the real-life Pocahontas' husband.
In one night, you will have done more for the cause of peace than 100 diplomats.
Disney's Rolfe is set up as a foil to the adventuring, ignorant Smith. He's depicted as a nice guy who learns to respect Pocahontas' culture and her independent spirit. Sadly, this was reportedly far from the truth.
From the second I saw you, ripped from your family and cultural context, I knew you were the one. I vow to love you always.
And I vow to make the best of the worst possible situation.
Number 4. Just as Good. The Little Mermaid 2, Return to the Sea. Okay, maybe it's not as good, but it would be a shame to exclude The Little Mermaid 2 from this list, as it's one of the most ambitious Disney sequels. And it mostly works.
Everything's newer and brighter and bluer and truer to life than before. Watch me soar.
Kids love a child protagonist, and the success of the later Descendants franchise has proven that Disney fans can't resist a next-generation story. This was the first sequel to turn a Disney princess into a parent, and it's fun to see how Ariel's daughter turned out.
You deliberately disobeyed me. I never want you going out there again, do you hear me? It's dangerous in the sea.
How would you know? You've never even been in it.
Is Melody just a little bit annoying? Yeah, but her dreams of becoming a mermaid were far more relatable back in the day than Ariel's desire to be human. After all, why would you want legs when you could be a mermaid princess?
I mean, how could there be anything wrong
wrong with something so wonderful.
Number 3. Missed the Mark, Mulan II. Disney sequels love to show us what happened after the happily ever after, but couldn't Mulan II have focused on something other than the heroine's relationship problems?
This assignment has made it clear we are very different people.
Maybe too different.
The movie's thin plot follows a newly coupled up Mulan and Li Shang, who are tasked with taking the Emperor's 3 daughters across the country to meet their future husbands. Mulan is conflicted because she doesn't approve of arranged marriages. Shang thinks they should just get on with the job. This mostly involves keeping the girls away from mission escorts Yao, Ling, and Chen Po, because they're clearly irresistible.
See, Chen Po here has always had a dream.
A dream?
A dream? A dream. But I don't... Oh, that dream.
Meanwhile, Mushu, no longer voiced by Eddie Murphy, is trying to break up Shang and Mulan for convoluted plot reasons. It's awful, but there are a couple of fun songs. Number 3. Just as Good, Inside Out 2. The best sequels let their characters grow and change, and Inside Out 2 is a perfect example of this.
What do you think you're doing? Riley's life is more complex now. It requires more sophisticated emotion.
In the first movie, we're inside the mind of 11-year-old Riley. In the sequel, our heroine hits her teenage years.
You aren't packed yet?
I'm the worst! Well, that's a preview of the next 10 years.
The anthropomorphized emotions that we've grown to know and love, joy, sadness, fear, disgust, and anger, are joined by some new friends, and they really change the game. Ennui, envy, embarrassment, and anxiety are on a mission to befriend the popular kids and keep Riley afloat at camp. But will she lose herself along the way? It's a moving and clever exploration of being a teenager that will appeal to the little ones too.
Boy, are we so lucky we ran into you guys!
Number 2. Missed the Mark, The Return of Jafar. Take the first 5 episodes of a planned Saturday morning-style kid show, remove Robin Williams as the genie, and add more of the comedy parrot, then stitch it all together and release it as Disney's first direct-to-video sequel.
I've got sand in places I didn't even know I had.
Spare me your prattling, Iago. Are we out yet?
Are we out yet? Are we out yet? Yes, we're out!
No wonder The Return of Jafar was a dud. Following fallout between Robin Williams and the studios for his Aladdin contract, Homer Simpson actor Dan Castellaneta stepped into the breach as Genie.
Okay, maybe my powers aren't what they used to be. Let's say they're semi-phenomenal, nearly cosmic.
But don't sell me short.
I may be free, but I still have some magic in me.
He does his best, but the script doesn't help matters. It's not serving anybody. In fact, except Iago, who is difficult to build a whole movie around. Williams did return for the third film, King of Thieves, which explores Aladdin's relationship with his estranged father and is much more entertaining.
Congratulations, Bob.
You've joined the club, and everybody here agrees. We got the finest blend of nearly honest men. Welcome to the 40 Thieves.
Number 2. Just as Good, The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride. It's a bold statement to suggest that any Disney sequel could measure up to The Lion King.
I've never done this before.
But this is definitely one of the best of the bunch. It's a tale of star-crossed lovers that follows Simba's daughter Kiara and Scar's adopted son Kovu. The story tackles prejudice, overprotective parents, and love across social divides, but it's the songs that set it apart from its competitors.
Hear the words and have faith. Have faith.
It's not often a Disney sequel has more than one decent tune, but The Lion King 2 has plenty. He Lives in You, One of Us, We Are One, Upendi, Love Will Find a Way, and My Lullaby are all genuine earworms that we can still hum to over 25 years later.
And it's so divine that you lose your mind as it sweeps you off your feet.
Before we unveil our top picks, here are a few honorable mentions. Just as Good, or better, The Rescuers Down Under. The first film is cute, but the sequel is glorious.
Well done, mate.
Come on, Marahute. Let's all go home.
Missed the Mark, Cars 2. Was this Pixar's first real disappointment?
What are you doing?
Trying to turn back time.
If I can just reverse the polarity.
Just as Good, Ralph Breaks the Internet. This one was worth it for the princesses scene alone.
Ugh,
Lang me your lumdick me a moose nail lee your gun away a teardrop in his eye. Hey, she back wee lassie?
Uh-huh. What did she just say?
We don't know. We can't understand her. She's from the other studio.
Missed the mark. Kronk's New Groove. Yes, we all love Kronk, but did he really need his own movie?
Those old people will buy anything you tell them to.
So you want me to sell this to them?
What do you say, Kronk? Help me to help you to help them?
Just as good, Frozen 2. The animation is still gorgeous, and there are some fantastic new songs. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Missed the Mark. Beauty and the Beast, Belle's Magical World. From Bambi 2 to The Lion King 1.5, Disney loves a midquel, or interquel if you prefer. These strange little movies slot in chronologically somewhere between the original film's beginning and end, preserving the characters at their most recognizable stage. Bambi stays a fawn, Timon and Pumbaa are still hanging out in the jungle, and the Beast remains a beast.
You made a Christmas wish last year. Is this what you wished for?
The Enchanted Christmas was the first of its kind and the beginning of a slippery slope. Belle's Magical World is at the bottom of that slope.
Hold on, Lumiere.
Considering the option, I had no intention of doing otherwise.
One problem with the midquel is that any character development from the original movie has been speedily reversed. Therefore, Beast spends most of Magical World as a raging tyrant. It's also an anthology film, and the animation is quite poor compared to the original.
It's a forgery.
Surely you're not suggesting I would do such a thing.
Number 1. Just as good. Toy Story 2 and Toy Story 3. The first Toy Story really changed the game when it came to 3D animation, setting Pixar off on a winning streak. The script was smart, funny, and original, elevated further by a fantastic voice cast.
Hey, Buzz! You're flying!
This isn't flying, this is falling with style.
To infinity and beyond!
A second movie was a risky move, but Toy Story 2 became one of the very few sequels in existence, whether live action or animated, to genuinely compete with the original. Whether it's better or not can be debated, but we can all agree it's great, right?
Oh, we've waited countless years for this day. It's good to see you, Woody. Listen, I don't know what... Hey, how do you know my name?
Everyone knows your name, Woody.
11 years later, the much-anticipated Toy Story 3 became another success story, providing the perfect finale to what was intended to be a trilogy. Toy Story 4 may have seemed unnecessary, but we'll give it a pass since it still had its upsides. Only time will tell how Toy Story 5 will fare.
You ever think about getting out there, seeing the world?
Without a kid? No, you can't teach this old toy new tricks.
You'd be surprised.
Which Disney animated sequels do you love, or love to hate? Share your childhood favorites in the comments.
Your Honor, if I may enter a plea of insanity, because I'm crazy about this kid.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.